Okay, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Tuesday edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Veterans Orthopedic Clinic Parish, Construction and Roofing. If you need an orthopedist, go to Brock, your roof, call Parish. Unique Physique, uniquephysique.com, Restored Motions, restoredmotions.com, and Ocock Brothers Premium Cigars. Use the code MAT15, MAT15, MAT15 for 15% off your order. Good morning, everybody. Hope everybody got through Monday. Your case of the Mondays. With LSU and the Saints both losing, it is probably a little more disappointing because for LSU that it lingers now. You go into your open date, so you have to wait 2 weeks. You have a chance to get back in the win column. But the Saints, they're right back at it. We got in the description of the episode. Good news, bad news. How about Taysom Hill and Foster Moreau both back at practice, opening up their 21-day window to return. Of course, if you start the season on the PUP list, which is PUP, physically unable to perform, you got to miss the first 4 games, at which time they can open up after that a 21-day window for you to return. So you have to ramp up till you can be activated. So the Saints now have 21 days to get those guys ready and added to the active roster. So could be within the next 3 weeks that we see Taysom Hill and or Foster Moreau return to the field for the Saints, which would be a really big boost, especially Taysom, just if he's healthy, just, what he can physically and dynamically bring to an offense that needs some help. So, that's good. Then Cesar Ruiz out 4 to 6 weeks, high ankle sprain. Listen, he has not played well. That's objectively true. Still a starter with a ton of experience, and so now a less experienced player will be replacing him. Curious to see who. Dylan Radins is certainly a candidate if he's healthy. It's got started at left guard while Penning was out, so Radins could start at right guard, or is it someone else? Is it Torricelli Simpkins, the undrafted rookie free agent? Do they go try to hit free agency to bring in someone, short term? That remains to be seen, but you got a great opportunity. Saints lines moved. Saints are actually now a 1.5 favorite on Sunday in the Dome. So would love to see the Saints get their first win. In the Dome, Kellen Moore get his first win. Rattler get his first win after an 0-10 start. Had a great opportunity this week at home against a rookie quarterback making his first road start. Your small favorite. No Malik Neighbors for the Giants. Great opportunity for New Orleans to get a win. Okay, please smash the like button if you would. Subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. Thanks for being there. See what you got. As always, fire away. Tiger Poppy, good morning. Have a great Tuesday. Same to you. Hey, Craig, good morning. Thomas, good morning. Brian, good morning. Ben, Matt, you nailed it yesterday regarding the O-line, defense, and PFF. That's why I'm here every day. Well done. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. So there is a thank you, Ben. There is my Locked On LSU episode for today is live, and I went deep dive into what's wrong with Garrett Nussmeier. We did a very deep dive comparison from Nuss last year to this year. We looked at scheme, play call, run pass ratio, depth of throws. Examined what everyone has said about injury, the possibility of injury, could it be limiting him, scheme, O-line, all of it. So if you're interested in that convo, that's live at Locked On LSU if you'd like to check it out. Hey, Bubba, good morning. Jacob, let's see, Matt, if the Red Sox go all the way this year, win it, would you say go Red Sox for me? Also, you're Locked On LSU from yesterday, open to my eyes. What's the problem with LSU's offense? Thank you for watching, listening. Appreciate that greatly. And no, there's literally zero chance ever that I would compliment the Red Sox on anything ever. So they should burn down that stupid stadium and disband the organization and never play again. And honestly, Jacob, I'm guessing I can't remember if we've talked about this before. I'm looking at your picture. You look like kind of a younger guy. So I actually don't respect your Red Sox fandom at all. I think you're a front runner, and because nobody was a Red Sox fan until 2004, and then all of a sudden, I was at LSU at the time as a senior in '04, and all of a sudden, all these Red Sox hats started popping up everywhere. Oh, everybody's a Red Sox fan. Front runners. That's all you are. You're front runners. Um, so I don't respect your fandom unless if you tell me you're from Boston, in which case I'd be like, oh, okay, respect. Hey, Jeremy, good morning. Headed to the coast this morning for a company retreat, hoping to catch something worth keeping. Have a great day. Thomas, morning, Matt. Just finished watching Locked On LSU PFF grades. Do you think LSU would commit to the run more? The O-line grades have been better. Yeah. And I think the grades are maybe an illustration of what's wrong, right? It's not a hard and fast. Like I always say, it's a metric. It's not the metric. It's just something to consider, but it does illustrate, right, how poor they were. But I would also say you still have to keep at it, man. The defense being on the field for 49 plays in the first half, like you've got to play some ball control. Like you've got to give your defense a break. You have to complement that side of the football. And LSU just did a very poor job of that, And I'm looking at my chart here. I mean, the first play of the game for LSU, they threw the pass to Bauer Sharp for 7 yards, reviewed, it was overturned. Then they ran it for 4 yards with Xavier Thomas, and then on 3rd and 6, they were incomplete 3-and-out punt. Next series, Xavier Thomas, 50-yarder, throwing on first down. They threw to Aaron Anderson, threw to Barry Brown. That then became Juwan Johnson's only run of the first half for -1. Then they threw the touchdown to Nick Anderson. Next possession, throwing on first down, 7 yards. 2nd and 3, Xavier Thomas slipped for -2. 3rd and 5, incomplete, PI. Then they went pass to Chris Hilton, where they also had the personal foul. They were offsides. Barry Brown run for 9 yards, and then the interception. I mean, running plays. 1, in your first 3 drives, 1, 2, 3. 3 running plays in your first 3 drives out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 plays. Out of your first 14 plays, 3 runs. You haven't tried. Your first 14 snaps, you had 3 runs. Tiger Diver, hope it's a good one. Thank you, man. Abner, good morning. Club, what up, dude? Thomas, day 10. Almost forgot on Sunday, too, Thomas. We got it, though. Hey, Jason, good morning. Sean, good morning. Can they just outright release Cesar Romero and the association? Decent player, not going to miss him in the long run. First of all, I never want to see anybody get injured, so I'm not going to celebrate Cesar Ruiz getting injured. I will be interested in him out for a month or so. Who replaces him and what opportunity that may open, right? So, the Saints gave him a 4-year contract extension on his rookie deal, which takes him through 2027. So they do have a potential out after this year on his deal. And there it is. So, not good. Yeah, they have a potential out on his deal, but it's going to cost them money. So the question, so for next year, his dead number is 16.8. His cap hit is 14.1. So it would cost you like $2.6 million more not to have him on the roster than to have him on the roster. So chances are he'll be here in 26, and then that sort of flips in 27, where his cap hits 14.1, his dead number's 9.4. So you got him for, I would say, at least one more year. Hey, Christian, good morning. I think you said it yesterday. Luckily, there's no dominant team in college football. Everybody looks beatable, maybe minus Oregon. Yeah, Christian, I don't even think Oregon is unbeatable. I mean, let me remind you, Penn State had the lead and Oregon was down to a fourth down play or the game's over. So now credit Oregon, they made the play, but they're certainly beatable. And it's one of the things that I really like about, this is going to sound weird, but about the playoff and the portal in this era is you don't have these dominant teams that just accumulate massive depth and talent roster advantages. What happens with portal is you lose a lot of your depth. So guys aren't playing, they go in the portal, get paid somewhere where they can go play. But what that does is it hurts your depth. Look, for example, at LSU with defensive end with Relaford getting hurt. Now, this is an injury, but just by comparison, like we probably should have talked about this. So Relaford got hurt. Remember, if you were following along with us, Pyburn, Payton, Relaford, and Butler were all basically playing the same number of snaps. Pyburn and Payton were playing a little bit more. But I think going into last week, it was like 130 snaps on the season for Pyburn and Payton. It was like 90, 92 for Butler and like 85 for Relaford because he got hurt. But they're right there. Well, if you look at the snaps against Ole Miss, Pyburn, 64, Payton, 67, Butler, 41. The only other end that played was Dylan Carpenter, who played 9. So they didn't roll, Carpenter out there like they would have Gabe Relaford. So they took a different tact. And I guess it was they just had an extra defensive back on the field and went with one fewer defensive lineman. Hey, Kelly, Chris. Good morning, mate. I know this was supposed to be Matt, but I like that you put mate. Morning, mate. Hey, Caleb. Stank looked like a guy who could play safety for us for a long time. Excited to see what Stutzman can do as well. Completely agree. So, think about it in terms of, okay, as disappointing as the injury is to Julian Blackman, it opened the door for Sanker's opportunity, and he looks great. So I'd say the same thing about Cesar Ruiz. I'm not celebrating Cesar Ruiz's injury, but I am curious to say, okay, who replaces him, and is it someone who can end up being a starter? Hey, Brad, good morning. Do you know where T-Bob is here in the crazy rumor? Yesterday said after 23, Kelly tried to make Denbrock co-OC, which made him leave. So I want to be clear, Brad. Somebody asked me, I have not talked to T-Bob, and now I feel like this is sort of a game of telephone where people are saying different things. So post-game Saturday, somebody said on post-game a comment that T-Bob had said LSU forced out Mike Denbrock to promote Sloan. That's how it was phrased on Saturday, and I've completely rejected that. That's not true. Now, the co-OC thing, I do not know that. I know a lot about that situation. And if you remember, hang on, let me go stop Drew's backpack real quick. Give me 1 second and I'll pick up on this point, okay? Hang on 1 second.
Parish Construction and Roofing. At Parish, we've got you covered. From the top of your roof, all the way down. Parish Parish Construction and Roofing. Parish Built. Parish Built. Parish Built. From your hometown. ParishBuilt.com.
Okay. So, if you remember, after the regular season ended that year in 23, LSU beats A&M. It was a day game. Jaden saved LSU. A&M tried to hire Mike Denbrock, if you remember. A&M came hard with a great offer, but Denbrock didn't want to leave. His family liked it here. He was very comfortable here. But A&M was sending a plane like the next day to pick him up. And the conversations with LSU got to the point then was like, am I getting on this plane or are you all going to counter? Ultimately, LSU gave him the contract offer, extension, raise to stay. And he did. And you remember they announced a 3-year extension on December 6th. So December 6th. So he agrees to the extension on December 6th. That was the week of the Heisman, right? So, and I remember when I went and did the show in New York from the Heisman, we had Mike on the show to talk about Jaden and everything like that. And I congratulated him on the extension, staying in Baton Rouge. So he agreed to a 3-year extension. Well, every contract has to go to the Board of Supervisors for approval before you can. That was weird. So the Board of Supervisors has to approve the contract before you can officially sign it, right? So you agree to the terms, which he did on the new 3-year deal. Well, in between, in the board meetings, by the way, it's not like they call an emergency board meeting. It would just be like at the next board meeting, they would rubber stamp it, and then he'd sign the contract to be done. But in the interim, Notre Dame came and offered Denbrock a better deal. And it's closer to home. His family's in southern Michigan. If you're not familiar, South Bend is literally 10 minutes from the Michigan border. It's northern India. It's northwest Indiana. There's a state road that runs, on the boundary of the campus. And if you go north for 10 minutes, like you're in Michigan. And so his family is like within an hour. His wife's Diane, his wife's family, friends, all there. Like it was a situation that made a lot of sense, and they gave him money. Now, did the Sloan thing tick him? Did they ask that? I don't know that. That part I don't know, and I've never asked. So that may be true, but I want to be very clear that that's not how it was phrased the other day, and I've not talked to T-Bob. So that may it may have been a thing where that really upset him, and he had this other offer, and so it was a better offer opportunity to go home, felt appreciated, took it. That might be the case. I'm being very speculative. I don't know. That's what T-Bob said, apparently, that what you all are saying. I do not know that piece. But the way it was phrased the other day was someone on the post-game chat phrased it that they forced out Denbrock to promote Sloan, which factually did not happen. Code, what is going on? Keep going away. It's weird. Why can BK not field a complete team? One side of the ball always sinks. I don't know what's going on with my camera. Like every time I click something, the camera goes away. That's so weird. Like it shouldn't go away whenever my camera shouldn't go away whenever I click this. Anyway, Randy 6 and 6 on possibility. Randy, please don't do that. Please, I'm begging you, don't do that. Like this team is not going 6 and 6. I'm begging you not to go there, Randy. Like that's so nonsensical. Like, do you realize even with all the issues, it was a 5-point game in Oxford, 5 points, where they had a pick six called back. Xavier Thomas would have had an 80-yard touchdown catch and run, but for tiptoeing out of bounds. And you had 2 short field possessions in the second half where you settled for field goals instead of touchdowns, one of which you had Chris Hilton open. He underthrew him and got a PI. Like, you were this close to, despite all the stuff, you're this close still to winning that game. They're not going 6 and 6, man. Come on. Like they're more likely to go 11-1 than 6 and 6. I'm not saying they're going 11-1. I'm saying they're more likely to go 11-1 than 6 and 6. Like, do you realize what happened to happen for them to go 6 and 6? Come on, man. Come on. Please don't do that. No pass the blame around. Something I haven't heard mentioned is Austin Thomas. Seems like a misallocation of assets in the portal. Not something that thoughts. So they tried to sign a tackle. As a matter of fact, Wilkin Formby, who's the right tackle at Alabama, they had a deal seemingly done to bring him here. And then ultimately he decided to stay at Alabama. That would have been a pretty good get. Josh Thompson can play guard or tackle. With the benefit of hindsight, I would rather not have added Berrien Brown, Nick Anderson, and instead added 2 more offensive linemen. But I love Berrien Brown. I think he's awesome. I mean, Nick Anderson scored a touchdown the other day. I just think you have a ton of offensive weapons, and none of it really matters if you can't protect Nussmeier and allow him to distribute the football. Cody, what's wrong with you? Like, I want to be respectful, but like, what is wrong with you? Like, you've gone deep into this dark place. At what point does Nuss get pulled? He doesn't. If he is truly, truly injured, not hurt, injured, then they should sit him. Because it's why you went and paid Van Buren $450K to be a backup, to keep the train on the tracks in the event that Nuss needs to sit. But Kelly keeps insisting he's fine. And he looked fine against Southeastern. And I don't know that. Look, in time, maybe something will come out. And maybe he's playing more hurt than Kelly is letting on. I don't know. But as long as Nuss is healthy and available, he's going to play. Seth, good morning. I don't know why this. Oh, there we go. Yeah, there's where. Oh my God, weird. Why does my hang on one second? Try this. So weird. I don't know why that's happening. Weird. I remember Brock, shout out, every Friday during football season, the free Friday night clinic over at Brock. High school athletes, band members, cheerleaders, dance team members, anybody injured on a football Friday night, go see our friends at Brock for free. Get more info at brortho.com, brortho.com. They're awesome. Appreciate Brock so much. Parish Construction and Roofing. Love to help you out with a free, no obligation roofing inspection, or maybe you got issues with your roof, Love to come help you out. From at first contact to completion, we can help. Actually, hang on. I love this slogan. Hang on. From claim to cleanup. From claim to cleanup, we can help you out. Parishbuilt.com. And of course, Unique Physique, uniquephysique.com. That's semaglutide, tirzepatide, the once-a-week injections for weight loss, the GLP-1s. They got them lowest prices, never any contracts. They can ship your medicine to your home and the whole thing over telemed. So even if you're outside of Louisiana, if you're interested in learning more, Unique Physique, uniquephysique.com. So then book a session with Crystal Poche at Restored Motions. You want to get out of pain? She'll help you do it. Restoredmotions.com. I'd love power runs against South Carolina. I never thought I'd say that. Yeah, I mean, you have to be able to run the football. Like, you have to be able to have balance offensively. Like, Les Miles' way of running and never being able to complete a forward pass was not okay. Similarly, it's not okay to be exclusive, throwing the football. Or like Iowa a few years ago, that was so dominant on defense and so bad on offense. Like, you can win games, you can't win championships. You got to be able to play complementary football. Brad, did you know Elise? I never met Elise. So for those who don't know, that is Wilson Alexander, the advocate. That is his wife who died on Saturday. She had a rare form of cancer. She battled it for about 1.5 years. And Wilson on Monday shared on social media that Elise passed on Saturday. So she was 31. So sincere condolences. And, if you offer up some prayers today, if you would, for Wilson and their family. 31 years old. They're just starting their life together. And Wilson's such a good guy. Not to say that anyone deserves that. Just, he's one of the good guys, and I really, just terrible. But I never did meet Elise, though. I did not know. Chris, any word on Chase Young? No, hope he's back this week. But it's already been 4 weeks, so what does it matter at this point? Which LSU portal players think have raised their NFL stock this year who has lost stock? Raised stock. Braylon Moore, Barian Brown. All of AJ Halsey, Mansour Delane. Mansour Delane might be a first-round draft pick. There's some buzz about that. So, Father-in-law is a Red Sox fan, not a baseball fan. So, your father-in-law is a front runner. And then if you're not really a baseball fan, Jacob, then you can't come at me with that energy to be like, well, you say go Red Sox and blah, 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 blah. You can't, if you can't say like, I'm not really a baseball fan, then come at me with that energy. Not okay. All right, 7:15, we got to go. All right. Sorry for those I missed. Please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Facebook, like the page, share the post. Appreciate y'all for hanging out. Y'all have a great day. Locked on LSU's Live, AFR3.